Word vetter.
This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now.
Yes, it does. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now.
Yeah.
Welcome. We are on the original porch, as we should be. I am your TD. To my right on the porch is the Grand Schwabini. Across from me in the Monroeville porch is Hockey Jesus. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to drop this podcast right after the show on the Apple podcast thingy.
Mm-hmm. On the thingy.
Yeah, the thingy is where you get all your podcasts.
Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And of course, want you to subscribe on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. Amy's already here in the comments. Hey, Amy.
Number one fan.
I mean, look,
Number one fan.
Look, she is 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to buy her a t-shirt, number one fan. Actually, you want to know what, Amy? We're going to get you a t-shirt, number one fan. And then the next time you come down to Trader Joe's, I'm going to expect you to be wearing it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which will be tomorrow, probably.
I don't know. North Hills, East Liberty.
She actually just did something that you might consider unforgivable. She was at Whole Foods this afternoon.
Oh no, that's not unforgivable. It's just stupid because it costs so much.
Yeah.
But
they don't.
Sometimes you got to get things that Trader Joe's just doesn't have.
Look, TJ's doesn't
Like
offer
eggs.
everything. That's right.
Like
everything at Whole Foods.
We have
though,
eggs now.
The nice thing about Whole Foods is it's everything's whole.
Yeah, everything's whole. It's not
whole,
half.
Yeah, Whole Foods.
You know what? We're going to start a new grocery store. We're going to call it Half Foods.
Half Foods.
Half Foods.
Actually, it has a nice little ring to it.
It does. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Then what's in it? What do you get? Like half a hot dog?
Yeah. Everything's
half a
everything's a
chicken?
half. Everything's a half and it's half off.
Half
I
a
think
sandwich?
it's I think it's half.
Same amount of
I think
money.
it's a half-brained idea.
Okay. Well, we could also call it half-brained.
That's what they all said.
I
Absolutely.
think that's what we should name.
That's what they said before the invention. That's what they said before the invention of the toilet.
Between us, we all have a half brain.
a third. It's less than that. Okay, let's get to the show. This is the Dead Zone, and we're awfully glad you're here. If you're watching us on X, hit that follow button as well. Every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. There's a lot going on in the sports world. We all know about it. The World Cup. I think HJ has been paying attention to the World Cup. I myself have not. I apologize. I don't even know why I'm apologizing. I'm just not. I played soccer in high school.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
The whole of the United States accepts your apology.
I'm just not
The
into it.
whole world is revolving around this.
There's nothing to get into. I watched the very beginning of the game and I was like, oh, okay, USA might be pretty good. Let's see what happens. Start us off, own goal.
It always starts out with the own goal.
I mean,
I love it.
Come on.
What do you mean own goal? They scored on themselves?
Right.
It was a beautiful pass.
It was a pass and some guy tried to block the pass and he hit it and it was own goal.
Happens all the time.
Okay.
Just kind of like, okay, did we really even score?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Okay. So, like I was saying, HJ, I think, has paid a little bit of attention to it. Chris
I've been
Chada,
paying more attention what's been going on off the field.
Well, we're actually getting some comments on this, right now. Chris Chada, please no World Cup talk. Pat off track, Messi with 2 goals, but he missed the easy one. College
Messi had
World
a hat
Series has
trick.
been good. I don't know,
I
man.
thought I did too.
I don't know.
Pat, didn't he have 3 goals? You're trolling us.
Maybe, but missed the easy one. Maybe not. All I know is that I'm not one of those people who like poo-poos soccer and says, the people that don't like soccer and all that. I think soccer is it's a really cool and it's a great sport. I played it. Watching it is difficult. It's just difficult. Not enough scoring for me.
Like here's what I can tell you about soccer. This weekend I watched my niece in Boardman, Ohio, playing some pretty high level golf. Like we're talking people were there from like Hong Kong and Korea.
Wow.
And California and stuff like that.
All right.
And I just got to tell you, I thought about these other nieces that I have who play soccer and like they travel for soccer.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not even close which sport is more difficult. It's not even close. Basically in soccer, like if you got to be really fast, and you got to have skills with your feet.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot. You got to have mad skills with your feet.
Right.
I mean, you do have to be in fantastic shape to run up
you
and down
do.
the field like
you do. But I mean, to hit a ball and avoid all the treachery along the way, and then to hit like putts in from like 20 feet,
it's
on a slope.
It's a different skill.
Yeah, it's completely
different. The
different.
skill set is way different.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about sports.
Right.
You can be terrible at running, but man, if you know the physics behind hitting a ball and you can just get those mechanics going, you can be a star.
Like Kyle Schwarber. That's all he does is hit home runs and walk.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure,
No,
yeah.
I'm being serious.
No, right.
Like, absolutely.
He's got it down, right?
Yep.
And he knows how not to get hit by a pitch in the head.
Right.
That's important.
It does.
Yeah, and he's pretty big. I mean, if I was pitching, I'd probably hit him by accident. I mean, he's so huge.
Well, you just dealt your cards there.
Yeah.
You said you would hit him, and then you said by accident. We already know the intent.
No, I love Kyle Schwarber.
Oh,
he's on my fantasy team. He's the only reason I'm still alive.
The footwork at the World Cup level is amazing.
See, Mike's a football.
This is true.
fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I mean, okay.
I mean, I'm going to run with this as a reel.
It's like
where he says that soccer is that golf is harder than soccer.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to run with that.
Oh yeah. He's gonna get filleted.
I don't think there's any question
that
golf is harder than soccer.
Okay.
I don't even think there's a question.
We'll see. Clip this. We'll see.
I mean, look, I've seen the highlights of Messi and the stuff that he can do, and he's absolutely amazing. But let's just be honest.
There's a lot of Messis out there.
No, there's not a lot of Messis out there.
No.
You got Messi, you got Ronaldo, you got Mbappe. You got a few guys. But the bottom line is like those guys are so much better than everybody else. Everybody else just looks like me out there.
Like you?
Yeah, like me.
I don't think so.
Maybe
I think that's a little off.
Slightly thinner version of
it. Thinner version.
By the way, I just realized this. I want to address this, guys.
1993.
If you're watching and you're looking at HJ there across from me, it looks like he's got some paper towels.
I had the MacGyver it.
Yeah, paper towels. Right. Where am I going there? Right there.
It's right here.
It's a MacGyver job.
Yeah. Because I walked up to the studio today, which is on the back porch where we've been lately, and the microphone's just laying there.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is a problem. And Chris was like, no, you'll just hold it.
I
am not going to hold a microphone for an hour and 15 minutes.
Did the person who was in charge of preparation do anything to help you?
He got me the paper towel.
Oh, so he got your paper towel to help you.
So I guess that worked.
While also mocking you and saying that you're an engineer and I don't think you can do this.
Well, I told him if I had duct tape, this would be a impenetrable job.
Yes. This is the level of entitlement that I have to work with around here. I just wanted to go there. I knew all I had to do was push it a little and there it would go.
Before we leave the World Cup.
Down the hill. Yeah.
Because I know you want to
talk a little about the World Cup.
You want to leave the World Cup, so we should just hit the highlights. Right?
$600 for parking.
Yeah.
Now, actually,
that sounds a little different than the NFL draft down here. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear that the prices are actually coming down on the tickets?
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Which is strange.
It's because most of the fans are so freaking hung over. It's going to take them 3 weeks to recover from the first game they went to.
I know. Well, that's definitely some of the off-field shenanigans, which we'll also talk about in a second. But I mean, the fact that the United States are already in the knockout round is pretty incredible. It's them, Germany, Mexico. I think they're the only three. I think there might be one other one, but definitely those three. Well, yeah, Germany, Mexico, United States. So, I mean, there's going to be 32, but they're in the top. They're basically one of the first three teams to get to the knockout round. I mean, you either have to have a really weak group, which they do, and you just have to win your first two games, and they have. So, I don't know. I mean, they won without Pulisic, so I mean, he's their star. That's good. That Freeman showed up.
Antonio Freeman's son.
Yeah, Pat Off Track's been talking about him as a potential superstar. So he stepped up his game. Whatever. I mean, you might not like it, but the world loves the game, the World Cup that happens. And now that we're hosting it in the United States and in Canada and in Mexico, you got to be excited about it. I mean, everybody else is. Did you see the fans going crazy?
Oh, yeah, they're nuts.
Did you see what Norway was doing with that rowboat thing in the stands? That's just so great. I mean,
they're
that's
crazy.
what's right about it. And I think I put this on the thumb at the beginning. The all the statues with the cones on their head. You see that? Scotland's taken over Boston, and that's what they do, I guess, to show that they're in the city. They get cones and they put them on. They just put them on random things.
There you go. That's the thumbnail right there.
Yep, right
Is
there.
that stealing the Pirates' thunder at all?
I think the Pirates probably are going to sue them over that. Yeah, because they own nobody can hoist a cone like the Pirates. But they're not hoisting a cone. They're just basically putting it on heads of various statues in Boston.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look, there's not much else on. It's watchable.
Yeah. And, I don't have any delusions of grandeur. I think they'll probably lose the first game they play in the knockout round.
Probably.
But it's fun while they're still in it. Yeah. They get to play basically a free game versus, and explain this to me. How did it become Turkey? Wasn't it always Turkey?
Yeah, I don't understand.
What happened
I don't
to
know.
Turkey?
I don't know.
Somebody finally explained to them what a turkey was over here.
Oh
And
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, we can't have
we
that.
Can't be Turkey.
No.
We have to be Turkey."
They were basically like, every November, America celebrates by basically eating a replica of your country. And they were like, we can't have that. We got to, but we got to keep it.
They don't even eat turkey there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, who knows? It's another mystery, like Pluto not being a planet.
Yeah.
And Kiev when it became Kyiv.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
When did it become Kyiv?
Like when the war started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was, you're not saying.
I mean, there's a war going on there still?
Sure is.
Oh my goodness.
It's been going on for a while.
Amazing. We haven't really given a shit about it for a while.
Well, that's
Pat's
on
got
us.
it right.
I mean, of course, the World Cup is on. So.
How can you drink so much beer that Boston no longer has any beer?
I think that's crap.
How much beer do you have to drink to drink that much beer?
That's crap. Or you know what? The Europeans have about a 2,000-year head start on us genetically drinking alcohol.
That is true.
You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of us came over here, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's coming from a professional too.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So you think they really do have some beer left?
Oh yeah, there's beer left.
There's a few Rolling Rocks.
Are you kidding me? Rolling Rocks. Now they got Sam Adams everywhere up there. They pour it in the fucking river.
Maybe they should start drinking the rivers.
They pull it out of the river there, man. It's what's the river? The Charles, right? The Charles in Boston.
The Charles River.
That's the Sam Adams River. That's where they get their water from.
I like that.
I'm totally making this up.
They should call it the Sam Adams River. I like that.
It should be.
It's much better than the Charles River
or the Paul Revere River. The Revere River. River Revere. All right. Are we doing any more World Cup stuff? Let's go. Keep going.
I think
off the field antics. We talked about that.
That's what it is, right? It's the fans. The other thing is, have you seen these videos where people who have never been to the United States like go into a Walmart?
I think I did.
Have you seen some of these?
What happened?
That's interesting.
They just walk in and they're amazed that you can like buy a television set for like $400.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't think that'll fit in my luggage. Let's take it back to the UK with me. So the prices of things, they're just amazed how cheap things are. And the other thing is like they go in like a 7-Eleven. They're like, look at all these options. Like they're looking at all the combos. They were like, you even have pizza flavored combos. Like we just take this for granted.
Right.
But everybody,
that's interesting.
They go in and they're just like amazed
inflation, it's terrible.
They just are amazed
People
with the
from
variety.
other places are like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Let me tell you something. And this is a side note, but it is the dead zone, and side notes are completely acceptable around here these days. But back in another lifetime when I worked for a real estate company in the banking biz, I had the occasion to go to Paris, and this was in 2000 and probably 8 or 9. Don't remember the exact year.
Yep.
I spent like 10 or 11 days over there, so it was a decent amount of time. And there were two things that stood out to me that I was told about before I went over that ended up being true. One, the price of gas was the equivalent 2008, 2009, the equivalent of $6 to $7 per gallon. And it was because it was like
it's by a liter.
It was it was like €5 a liter, which was the equivalent of like $6 to $7 a gallon. This is 18 years ago,
right?
And Coca-Colas, like if you wanted a soft drink, they were $7 to $10 a piece.
Right,
you didn't get free Coke.
Mm.
All right. So I was just happening to think about this the other day when I'm thinking like, grocery prices are going up again. Yeah. The oil, all the bullshit that we don't talk about on this show that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, yeah, but 18 years ago over in Europe, shit was still more expensive than it is now. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing the inflation. It's a bitch.
Of course.
Mhm.
It's a bitch. But I'm looking at it and going, what are they living with over there?
Well, it's just a lifestyle. Like, for example, somebody ordered a Coke at dinner, and he was like, I can drink as many of these as I want for the same price.
Exactly.
And he immediately
He's just like,
chugged it, and he sat it down, and the waitress came over and said, would you like another? And he was like, I'm never leaving this country. And I think he was with either his mom or he wasn't a kid. He was probably in his 20s.
Yeah.
But and she was like, you know how much sugar that has in it. He was like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care.
Well, yeah, with those goodies comes your American obesity.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That is true.
And the last thing I want to mention about the off the field stuff is they would be walking around. I think this one group of guys traveled to Miami, and they got in, and they're just walking around Miami, and they were like, "It's so safe." He was like, "I could never walk like at 2:00 in the morning around wherever I live," and I didn't know where he came from, and he was just like, this is the greatest thing. I can walk wherever I want. Nobody's going to stop me. I don't have to worry about, losing any of my freedoms if I walk across the street. And he says, and the internet is the best because you basically can post a meme and not have to worry about somebody fining you because the meme was illegal. So, these are just things that I think we take for granted as Americans. And it's so great to see other people come experience our culture. And these are people here who have never been over here before. So it's brand new to them.
Yeah.
And, it's something that like I said, we take for granted. We shouldn't. And it's just so great watching it for the first time from people who are coming over and having a great time. They're here for the soccer. They're not here, to experience the United States, but
I think they're here for the soccer and to experience it.
As they're experiencing it, at least the people who are online, and you can't believe everything you see online,
right?
But it's definitely something that's taking over the internet. Watch for more as it keeps going. I'm sure eventually somebody will have some negative things to say, and it'll be equally as fun to hear the negative things they have.
Somebody will be assaulted.
I mean, I think if you look at it, I mean, that's the one thing that separates the United States from the rest of the sports world. Like every other country, pretty much, lots and lots of other countries, they focus on soccer. They focus on the leagues in their country.
Right.
It's their sport.
Yep.
And it's spread across the world. And the U.S., of course, we have football and baseball.
That's
really it toggles back and forth between both. Secondary NBA, we're bringing basketball to the world, but we just can't get our people into soccer the way that the Europeans have. But again, soccer is a game that was played by native peoples thousands of years ago. They weren't tossing a football around. So
although I will say this though, I do find it interesting that one of the best soccer players on Team USA is Antonio Freeman's son.
Right. He decided he chose soccer.
He chose soccer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Probably because his dad said you don't want CTE and the concussions that come with playing football.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Probably
so you might see a trend of better athletes choosing soccer over our typical sports here.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, Schwaber. It really is. I mean, you're looking at it from a professional standpoint. It's like, there's definitely not the concussions. I mean, you have other injuries, but I think
that's a permanent injury you can't heal.
Yeah,
like if you get your arm broken, okay, you can fix that. If you get your head sloshed around, that's a permanent.
I mean, you see these things like that Alden Smith dying at like 31.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And they're sending his brain to be, researched.
Okay, that just reminded me of something I want to talk about later in the show that I totally forgot about. So I apologize for that interruption. But
well, I think the one thing is true. If you're a world-class athlete, you're going to gravitate to the sport that's number one in your country. And in the United States, it tends to be mostly football. In Europe, it tends to be their football, which is our soccer.
Right.
So, Mark Madden said this 1,000 times. He and I think it's true that Ronaldo, if he was born in the United States, probably would have been a strong safety or a tight end. You know, he wouldn't have played soccer. But he would have taken his athleticism and just transferred it to football, and he probably would have been an all-pro. You know, because he's just such a great athlete. And it's just about learning the sport you want to learn. And, you know, if Antonio Freeman's son, you know, wanted to go for soccer because his dad said, no football for you, he's great at it. And I think that just goes to show that that is absolutely true. And that's it for the World Cup segment. We'll be back next week with more.
Probably too much World Cup.
Yeah. I'm updating here. I'm updating stuff. Okay, so World Cup wise, yeah, we've had our discussion there. If you have any comments about it, please leave in the chat. It'll show up on the screen. We might get you on the show. Remember, I do drop this as a podcast right after the show in the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Got it right that time. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, hit notifications. You'll know when we're live every single Monday night, 7 p.m. Sports Porch Black and Gold. Grand Schwabini, HJ sitting across from me. We got to do it, guys. We got to do it. We got to talk Pirates. I mean,
The Pirates.
yes, the Pirates.
Did they get swept?
No, they won.
They won the Sunday game.
I think they won the Sunday game.
So
they're
Buccos
500.
Blues, diving into the
Right.
Pirates mediocrity. Can Paul Skenes and Henry Davis spark a turnaround? Now, Henry Davis, that's kind of a joke. I'm going to start with this, and I've been doing this a lot more. Yes, Chris Chada says Skenes 6 and 7. Can you handle putting the comments up whenever we talk about him?
There
You know
you
what I
go.
mean on the screen.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I had to do this.
Yeah, if I bring it up, pop
Sorry,
it up there.
sorry,
It just makes it
Chris Chada.
easier because I'm trying
Yeah, I can pull them up.
to do other stuff. So anyway,
Even though my microphone is kind of blocked.
all right, that's
I can
enough.
do it.
I provide it all.
I can do it.
Stop
I
being
can do it.
entitled. Just,
can do it.
get along with the program.
I can do
An
it.
excellent job in fixing your microphone with that
I expect
Jerry
a-
Riggs
Is
situation.
Skenes now
if anybody
officially?
has this part, send me.
That's not. We're going in a new direction, my
Is
friend.
Skenes
Don't
now?
worry.
Is Skenes now
No,
officially?
we're not going Skenes. I want to save that because I have some graphics. I have some stuff I created.
What if I want to go? Skenes?
Well, you know what I mean. You can go Skenes. Go Skenes then. You just go all Skenes in your head. In your head. Keep it quiet.
I don't know that I want to do two shows, one in my head and one online.
So it seems like you're always doing two shows, one in your head and one online. All right, listen,
Don't need
I
the
want to
preach.
talk about this. I started listening to Mark Madden a little bit more. And HJ, I know you like him or you listen to him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm coming home from work when it's on.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's convenient.
usually at lunch,
Yeah, right.
Over work.
Mhm.
And of course I get the reels.
And the guy's brilliant.
You know what? I hate when he calls himself the genius.
I
What
love
does he
it.
call himself? The
Evil
The
genius.
super genius.
super genius.
Super genius.
Super
He is
genius.
an evil super.
Yeah. He's making fun of himself by saying super genius, but he's also pointing out the fact that a lot of times he's right, which I think is great. And
He's seen a lot of sports.
I feel the same way about myself. But here's the thing. I really appreciate how he's hammering Henry Davis and the
yeah.
Pirates.
He wants him out. He wants him out of baseball.
I got a guy at work who defends Henry Davis. And this
How
guy,
can you defend his?
well, let me just give you this guy's creds real quick. He's
Okay.
a legitimate Pirates fan.
Yep.
He watches every game, either the whole game or
All right.
part of it,
All right.
depending upon his work schedule, but he's got it on at work. I get every 5 minutes, I get a friggin' update from Warren.
Mhm.
Shout out to Warren if he's going to listen tonight. But he wants Henry Davis
He's
on
a
the
real
Pirates
fan. I get it.
because of the Skenes connection.
Mhm.
Listen, Chris Davis has the lowest recorded, unfortunately, of my beautiful Baltimore Orioles, beloved Baltimore Orioles, lowest recorded full season, eligible for,
Mhm.
the batting title and all
Right,
that
right.
stuff.
Right.
Average
Of what?
168. Okay. Chris Davis.
Well, he's got a real good shot at breaking that.
Yes, he's batting 136.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is going to
That's
lead
not-
into
yeah.
this is going to lead into where you want to go with Paul Skenes.
Mhm.
It's going to lead into it. That's
Okay.
why I wanted you to bear with me.
You think so?
He's Paul Skenes' catcher.
Right.
Okay. He's Paul Skenes' catcher.
Got it.
All right. I'm going to put this graphic up.
Which I agree is stupid.
I think-
I've seen that many teams do that. They have like
Yeah.
their best pitcher and they've got the personal catcher.
Yeah, but
Right.
the personal catcher is not as bad as Henry Davis. A lot of times they're
Well,
average hitter, whatever.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
Henry
yeah.
Davis is historically bad.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's fine
Yeah.
if there's if
Mhm.
you got that connection, that's very important.
Mhm.
And if they can produce at the plate at an acceptable level,
If they hit 238.
yeah, if they hit 240, if they hit 280, awesome. You know.
Mhm.
So anyway, so I saw this online. I can't give credit to whoever put it up there. I don't know if they actually created it or not, but this is and it caused me to do something here. I'm gonna put the comments away for a quick second. Paul Skenes, as of today, is his walk to home run ratio is 2-1, which is insane for a starter. 18 walks to 9 home runs, and his whip is .93, a career low. But he is 6-7. Now, do you think if Henry Davis was batting 250, that's
Right.
120 points higher,
Right.
do you think Paul Skenes would be 6-7? No, I think he's had 16 starts.
Right.
He'd probably be 10-6, 11-5. Not lights out, but you're talking,
Yeah.
this makes no sense to me. So
Right. Right.
then I went back and I decided I'm going to look at other pitchers that have these kind of stats through 16 games of the season
All right.
since
Mhm.
1980. Because I think all of us around here, we were alive in the 70s.
Yeah.
We know the
The
names,
80s,
but
is
I don't
fair.
remember them pitching. The 80s, I remember watching a lot of these guys
Mhm.
pitch. How many do you think are on this list?
3.
Okay.
7.
Okay. So we're going to go right to this. Here are the elite starting pitchers, the pitching season since 1980 with these metrics. Pedro Martinez in 99, whip 92, 2.4, walks to home runs, 11-3. 11-3 in 16 starts. All right. I'm not going to go over all the stats.
No,
I'll
you
just
can
do
see on
I'll
that.
just do the record. Greg Maddux in 95, same or comparable stats, close stats.
Mhm.
4-1 walks to home run, or 3.1,
Mhm.
a little higher, but close enough. 8-1 after 16 starts. Kershaw in 2016, 11-2 after 16 starts. DeGrom 2018, not as great, but 5-3.
He played for worse teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Verlander in 22, 11-3. Greinke 2015, 8-2. Kluber 2017, 7-3. Cliff Lee, remember that guy?
By the way, I said 7. There's 8.
There you go.
Mhm.
So Cliff Lee, this his
Mhm.
Phillies year, 2010, or did you
Yeah,
win? You
that
won
was,
in
that was probably with the Phillies.
okay. So 8-3. Paul Skenes, 93 whip, 2.0 walks to home run, 6-7, 6-7. I'm going to tell you right now, right here, right now, this is the reason that Paul Skenes will not complete his career or even come close to signing another contract with this team. He will not be here. He won't. Okay. He just won't, because he can have a start to a year like this that is up there with some of the greatest pitchers in history. And by the way, I don't remember when these guys' rookie years were. I mean, Greg Maddux was a vet at that time. Martinez was a vet. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've been pitching for many years. This is his third year, and he's throwing up these stats. People are saying Skenes is doing worse than last year. Not really. Not
Well,
really.
I mean,
well, they say his velocity's down, but he's locating
Yeah.
pitches. His walk to home run ratio is much better. His strikeouts are up. He's got 107 strikeouts.
Look, he hasn't.
Dude, this team is not. Why would he ever want to play for this team?
Well,
he wants out.
You know what's interesting? Maybe he's creating this to himself by having Henry Davis in there. Maybe if he had a catcher who could actually hit the ball, he would win more games. You know what I mean? By having Henry Davis in there, he's deflating the amount of runs that they can possibly score.
And that's
You're
what
blaming it on Paul Skenes.
No, I'm just saying that he could be contributing to it, because if you need more runs
Right.
and just slightly more runs, wouldn't 1 or 2 more hits from your
Right.
catcher help get you 1 or 2 more runs every game?
right.
It just makes sense.
Basically, the
And
issue.
I'm not blaming Skenes. I'm just saying it's dumb that the manager lets him do this.
Yeah.
There you go.
if-
There you go.
If you had a real manager
Right.
who would say, I have a real catcher, he will catch you just as good of a game, and he will score 3 more runs for you. Well, do you want Henry Davis?
Right.
You may want him, but I'm getting rid of him. He should do a money ball. I'm okay. You can't play him anymore because I just traded him. That's what he should do.
Well, and you at first I thought you were going in a different direction, but yes, you totally feel my vibe. This is not a Paul Skenes problem.
No, I'm not blaming him, but he is contributing to the problem.
They're letting him call that shot.
That's right. And the management is letting him do it. And if they don't let him do it, then maybe he gets pissed off. He's leaving anyways. You're absolutely right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I don't care.
Yep.
At least you have a spine towards this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I attribute, look, when it comes to the lineup, when it comes to guys like O'Hearn, he had an injury. Lau, he had an injury. Cruz had an injury. Yeah. That's normal baseball. Mm-hmm. I mean, who on the Phillies has had an injury this year? Who on, on the Mets? Who on it doesn't matter.
They all get injured.
That's part of the deal. Now you can break it down and say, I feel like there was poor planning behind these signings for who are we going to plug in afterwards. And I missed a big injury, Connor Griffin, of course. But, the bottom line is that we are right back to obviously we know there's a bullpen issue, but really we don't really have a professional manager on this team. No. Shelty was horrible. Don Kelly, look, he's a hometown boy. Great. That's awesome. I mean, it really is. It really is. But you want to win? I mean, you pick the hometown boy over Francona, who also happens to be kind of a hometown boy, a real manager, at least. A real manager. And there we are again. So now the Pirates are willing to spend a little bit more money. They did sign Connor Griffin. They got these two free agents short term, by the way.
That's true.
But they don't want to put, management in place that understands how to really manage a game.
This guy's take it to the next level.
This guy's learning on the job. I get it. I mean, it's not like he doesn't know baseball, but he's learning on the job. Yeah. You're not going to you can't expect anything. And I think it's a shame. I think personally right now at this point, just get it over with. Trade Paul Skenes. Get it over with. I don't want him to go. I say trade Henry Davis. Well, who are you going to trade to? You trade him to the sports porch. We'll let him sit here and talk, right?
Yeah, you can't.
I don't know. 3's enough.
To be honest. I don't know if we want him on the show.
He might be quiet if he's too. Let's go to Quiet Henry on the corner.
He can be a roving reporter.
Well, I mean, a lot of people break a lot of this stuff down. They break down Nick Gonzalez off to a hot start. Now he's cooling off lately. Cruz, his defensive issues. Yeah, but he's regressing to the mean in his batting average. Connor Griffin, what could he do if he was back in the lineup? All that. We're falling right back into this very poorly managed ball club.
Hey, at least they're 500 right now.
That's true. That is true.
It still really is more than anything the bullpen. If they had a better bullpen this year,
they just went and got a guy, right? They traded Joey Bart for an arm.
Yeah, but they what DFA'd I'm saying is, this guy last year and brought him back.
Right. I'm basically saying
he's off the junk pile.
They could potentially have another 5-6 wins if they had addressed the bullpen before the year started.
Yeah, if they would have at least got a couple lefties to be in the bullpen.
Well, and
which everybody knew.
And let's think about this right now. I mean, if you go to the standings in Major League Baseball right now, the Pirates at 39-39. We just talked about the fact that, maybe if Davis was hitting, 250, let's just say 240,
225,
Skenes
100 point up.
Well, let's use some concrete stats here. Let's just say 230. Okay. Skenes is hitting 230 instead of 6 and 7 because the only time, or Davis is hitting 230. Basically, the only time Davis plays is when Skenes is pitching. It's true. Rare that he may spot, but it's rare. So, Davis is batting 230 instead of 6 and 7. Paul Skenes is, let's go very conservative and say he has 3 more wins and 1 less loss. So now he's 9-6.
Hold on,
let me finish. 9-6. So that would put them at 42-37, which puts them in second place behind the Brewers.
Didn't we play this game at the start of the season that because they got these new bats,
we play
this year Paul Skenes is going to be 17-4.
I did say
because
that.
of all the new bats.
I don't think we said 17-4.
No, but we did. I
think
went
I
on
did make
record.
that up.
I think you made that up, but I said that's probably going to create a situation in which he has a lot more wins, and it hasn't.
I agree with you. Henry Davis does contribute to the problem. It's one bat out of 9 that is not going to give you anything, and that's not good. But the team as a whole is not producing runs for Paul Skenes. So it's not just Henry Davis. Could it certainly help? Sure. But it's not just him. It's one of those kind of like dumb luck, bad luck kind of things where for whatever reason, they're just not putting together a lot of runs when Paul Skenes is starting.
It's so weird though, because you know, this is the second year it's happened.
Right.
You know,
Sometimes
last year it was like, okay, maybe this is an anomaly. Clearly it's not. It's continuing to happen. And we don't have the solutions, but I think getting rid of Henry Davis would be a good step forward. Or at least have the managers say, you know what, Paul, one game without Davis. You have to play without.
Well, yeah, and the other thing you would say to a guy like him, and I'm sure it's said, is look, when you leave the Pirates, there's a very, very little chance that Henry Davis is going to go wherever
That's
you go.
true. You better start learning to pitch to another catcher now.
Yeah, even if you're
that's actually a better sell.
If you're like the one condition is he's my catcher, they're going to be like, I mean, if I'm another team, if I've got a stacked lineup, I'll be like, all right, but he's going to have to earn it a little more. I mean, that's the best I would do. I do want to give myself
cost him $50 million.
I do want to give myself right now a round of applause.
You should.
Because I really think. Look at that graphic, man.
I think that's some of his best work.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a bit confusing. The walk to home run ratio is I don't mind the whip and the win-loss, but I would have liked to have maybe seen ERA instead.
All right, well, you're welcome. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's the best way to take a compliment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It wasn't really even a compliment.
There you go.
All right, listen, guys, your thoughts on anything you want to talk about tonight? The World Cup, the Pirates, the Paul Skenes thing we talked about, Henry Davis, where they're going. Chris Chada had some pen stuff. Do you want to address that before we move on? After I tell everybody they have to smash that subscribe button and click notifications so you know the Sports Black and Gold will be live every Monday night at 7 p.m.
Well,
Eastern
there was a U.S. Open in
you want to do U.S.
men's
Open
golf at Shinnecock.
Okay.
Shinnecock Hills.
Shinnecock Hills, translation, the Hamptons.
Yeah.
So everybody there is extremely rich.
Yes.
They have money in the Hamptons?
Yeah, it was a pretty good tournament. You know, Wyndham Clark, he won it. It was his second U.S. Open in about 3 years.
Well, you know what he was famous for at the U.S. Open last year?
He was famous last year for throwing a fit and
breaking some old
lockers. right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
I remember that.
And in that sport, it's kind of a shame because things stay with you in that sport. Like after he won, he was just like, I know nobody was rooting for me this weekend because I made some mistakes last year, but hopefully I can prove to you that this is who I am. Right. Well, hey, it's easier to be in a good mood when you win.
Yeah.
But look, he played really well. To me, more interesting than anything else is I feel like there's been a little bit of a fall off from Scotty Scheffler this year.
Yeah.
And actually,
if he would have won, he would have won the Grand Slam, right?
Actually, to sort of tie it back in with the Pirates, it's very much Scotty Scheffler this year is very much like a Paul Skenes.
A lot of promise.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's constantly in the top 5. But he's just not hitting those putts that he usually makes. Yeah. And therefore he's not winning the big ones.
You got to hit the putts.
Yeah, that's what it kind of comes down to. But hey, I'll tell you what, another reason why I can tell you that golf is a harder sport than soccer.
Tell me.
Oh, here we go again.
All you have to do, think about it this way. All you have to do in golf is look at all the players who missed the cut and how good they are, and they still couldn't even get to the final weekend of a major. where like 100 guys make it,
Right.
and they couldn't make it. I mean, like Bryson DeChambeau didn't make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like guys who won, recently don't make it. It's like it's that freaking hard.
They don't even get to the next round.
Right. There's no oops, sorry, I got tackled on this one. I'm going to do a throw in.
All right.
More like,
Okay.
oh crap, I got a red card. Now I can't play the next game.
There we go. But anyway, hey, hats off to all you golfers out there. It was a pretty good show.
All right. U.S. Open. Anything else?
I did not watch a single. That's not true. I watched 3 holes.
Did you?
On Friday.
On Friday.
While I was waiting for the soccer game to start. I had them on side by side, and you know what? I got so bored with it. I changed. I did. I mean,
look, the golf is way more exciting when it's the last round of a major.
It is, and you know what? Yeah. For some reason, maybe it's because I've watched the Masters so many times. I just love that course so much.
Yeah, the Masters,
and everything's familiar. Like when they do the U.S. Open, and I watched it because of Oakmont, because you know, I actually have been on that course a couple times, but it is ridiculous how difficult it is. You're right about that.
Oh yeah. I mean, like when they show you stuff, it's like there's this one hole where basically you've got like a 5-foot radius around the hole. If you don't hit it there, it's like a 9-foot drop all around. I mean, it's insane.
If you don't hit it, you're not getting on.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Why is Skenes so married
to Davis as his catcher?
Mike Lawrence, I don't know. I mean,
comfortability.
He just feels comfortable with him. And look, I mean, I can't blame him. We don't know. No. I mean, like we've never had Andy Rodriguez catch a game for us.
Right.
So we don't know the difference. So maybe there's a big difference and we don't really even know. But at the same time, you still can't put somebody out there with a 137 batting average, even if they do hit a couple home runs.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
And he hasn't hit a whole bunch anyway.
Was he maybe hit 6? Something like that?
I don't even.
That's, yeah. You know what? Pirates run differential, by the way, is still plus 14. But the Brewers, who were struggling at the beginning of the season and are now clearly in the lead in the Central by 5 games over the Cardinals and 8.5 over the Pirates, their run differential is 119. And they've also
they're for real
given up the least amount of runs in the Central and the second least amount of runs in the entire National League. So the Brewers are for real. And we talked about this at the beginning of the season. Henry Davis, let's get his stats and then we'll move on because we are interested in Henry Davis's stats. So
Hank,
let's find you, Hank. Hank is, as of right now, I mean, we already know he's batting 136, 132, 18 for 132. 18
hitting the ball hard
for 132.
Just some bad luck. He's hitting it at players.
Let me say that one more time for all of you Hank Davis defenders. Great kid, works hard. Baseball's difficult. We understand.
Number 1 pick.
18 for 132. Sorry. Can't defend that now. Just can't do it. Skenes, you got to find yourself another catcher, man. They got to do something about
How
this.
many pass balls does he have?
I don't know. And I don't freaking care.
Harder to hit a fastball than to kick a soccer ball.
Now, Chris Chada, last question on the U.S. Open. I've heard that you have to watch a PGA tournament in person to realize how good those guys are. Now, you've seen a couple in person.
I've been to the Oakmont a couple times.
Yep. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I gave him the tickets.
One of them. Yeah. One of them.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Should have gone.
You do have to go. Because once you see these holes in real life, you realize how far it is they really hit the ball.
Oh yeah.
And some of the chutes that they drive out of, they're more narrow than they look.
Oh yeah.
And the trees are overlapping. I mean, a tree's what, 90% air, they say. No, it's not. Not on a golf course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is impressive to watch them play. And you know what? I'm glad they don't use carts.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think walking. I mean, that's what makes it a sport. You know what I mean? Like you actually have to.
If they were to have a caddy and they would just get driven right to their ball every time, no.
Yeah. The one
would
they
have
wouldn't have
much
to.
less
They wouldn't have
respect.
to stay in shape. Why do you think half of America that's obese golfs?
Do you realize
can
though,
ride a
guys,
cart.
that one of the things that I'm actually
They're
struck.
retired.
One of the
They
things.
combos.
One of the things that I'm actually struck by in watching my niece play golf is that, and this is like serious stuff. This is like the junior association golf, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? It's amazing how the pro game is totally different than the juniors game. Like at the junior game, you can't have a caddy. Okay. You're not allowed to talk to anybody. Like you can't have your parent or your coach you. You can't talk to anybody.
Really?
Wow. But the professional golfer can have the caddy tell him exactly everything.
Okay, here's your club. You're about 125. The wind's coming on. Let's see, about 7 miles per hour. That means you need to hit the 7 iron.
I think the idea is that once you're a professional, you've learned all that.
Hopefully.
And now you're competing at the highest level, so you have the highest available resources.
Yeah. And it's like, and there's like no noise allowed at all.
I also feel like that sentence I just said was way too serious for this show.
They have people
make up.
They have people driving around on carts that are like rules professionals.
Yeah.
Right. And like they will get into you if you make freaking noise. Like, how's that? Now the professional game, they hit it and they go, "You're the man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's funny. You're right about that, Schwaber, because my youngest son, about 7 years ago, got really into golf, and he joined like the Junior Golf Association, and he went to a couple tournaments, and I went to a couple of them, and it was exactly like that.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to talk. The younger kids could have a caddy. His stepdad was his caddy, but that was more because they weren't allowed to walk around on carts, and they had to hoof the golf clubs with him or something. He was like 8. And it wasn't like at the highest level, but you couldn't make any noise. He couldn't talk to us. You had to stay away. When they would head to the next hole, you had to follow. You couldn't go ahead, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're right. You're right. But all right, that's enough. I'm sick of golf. I'm absolutely sick of golf. So we're gonna move on.
Let's talk pucks.
Let's talk hockey.
Yeah, are we gonna talk hockey?
Hell yeah.
All right, HJ on hockey. HJ on hockey.
This Friday is the NHL draft.
The NHL draft this Friday, round 1.
Where each team will walk up to the microphone and say, "Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes on winning the Stanley Cup with the 3rd pick.
Thank you, Buffalo, for being such a great host.
Thank you for your hospitality."
You have great wings.
We should make, you know what we should do? We should take a sports road trip up to that bar.
Anchor Bar. You've never been?
I've never been there.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you know me and chicken wings, man.
You got to go to the Anchor Bar.
No, we should take a sports trip up there.
Sure.
And maybe even meet Pat up there.
I don't even
Pat's
know.
not coming to Buffalo. He lives in Florida, for freak's sake.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pat, like, get out and make some friends.
What are we even talking about? What's the Anchor Bar?
The Anchor Bar is where buffalo wings were actually created.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, the legend is, and Pat will correct me if he's still watching and I'm wrong, but I believe the legend is the one, I don't know any names, but some travelers came in one night, it must have been bad weather, and they wanted something to eat, and the bar really didn't have a whole lot of food available. It was like sold out or whatever. And the lady that worked there went back and grabbed some of these little chicken wings and threw some of that hot sauce on it, and then served it with like blue cheese and little celery sticks, because that's what she had. And then boom, it was just like, wow, this is great. And that's the legend. Pat.
Yep. Pat said he's been.
Pat said he's been there. Did I get that right, Pat? Give us a yes or no on that. I'm pretty sure I got 90% of the story.
Are they good? Are they good there, Pat? Or are they just not good?
No, they're very good.
Are they?
Yeah.
You've been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
We stopped on our way back from when we were in Toronto.
Sons of the owners. Sons of the owners, the Bellissimo.
I don't like the big ass wings though. Are they
all together? You mean the all together?
You can get them either way.
Oh, you can. Okay.
I think I had wingdings.
Yeah, I like wingdings.
Yeah.
That's more my speed.
I would assume that they taste original. Close enough. They're good. Okay.
Yeah, they're good.
That's
I mean,
what Pat says.
for me, I'm not a wing connoisseur, so to be a wing is a wing.
Mhm.
You know, you have when you have a bad one. Let's put it that way.
That is
You do.
true.
You
That
do.
is true.
Otherwise, it's good. It's a
Mhm.
wing. Yeah.
Maybe what we do is we take a trip up there, maybe just a day trip, maybe one night. and we do that, and then we come back to Pittsburgh and see if we can compare them to the original, the great wings. And we have a couple favorite spots around here.
Maybe, but we're talking about hockey.
I know.
Yes.
It's the dead zone. I said,
there's been a Tkachuk on the move.
There's been a Brady Tkachuk movement, and nobody's going to be happy about this.
Is Brady Tkachuk even that good?
Well, I mean, so it depends.
He's not the better one.
Well, you know what? I'm not a big fan of the Tkachuk brothers either.
No.
But I think you're right. I think Matthew's a little bit more talented, but Brady's a big MFer. I mean, he runs people over. He makes plays happen because of his size, and you can't move him out of the crease too easily. So he's very hard to play against. And the counselor is always telling me, we got to get players that are hard to play against. And he's the hardest to play against for that reason.
They paid a steep price.
Well, I mean, 3 number 1s and a number 2.
And one of them's number 9.
Yeah. Well, this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they gave up their number 1 the next 3 years. And then the year after that, it's their number 2. I mean, it's a big price to pay, but look at Florida now. Do you think they're not going to make the playoffs now?
Yeah, right.
Do you think they're probably not cup favorites now? Probably are. Now, I mean, they got goalie problems. So, let's just leave it at that, but that's a big price to pay. And what's really interesting is Ottawa. To me, they were on the up. I think they're going to make a big move for Jason Robertson now. And he's a restricted free agent. You can't tamper. You can't offer restricted free agents a sheet until July 1st. So on July 1st, it's a big day.
I think they're cutting it all down in Ottawa. I think they're restarting.
Maybe, but I mean, remember they have Stützle and Sanderson.
They
still have 2 really good centers.
They're talking about they want to trade one of their centers, either Pinto or Cousins.
I mean, Cousins is too big. He's not that great.
You don't think so? I think he's pretty solid.
They'd be crazy to trade Shane Pinto, and I don't think they will. I think they're going to go get a winger to play with Stützle, and they'll be okay. Look, they didn't want to. They play a very similar system to Florida, but Florida has everybody who can play that way. They only had Brady Tkachuk that could play that way. All these other guys are just fast speedsters. They play more like Montreal. They play that speed game. They like to score on the rush. So I'm a little surprised, but basically what had been reported is Brady Tkachuk said, I'm not signing in 2 years. So you can keep me for 2 years, but I'm not re-signing with you, which is exactly what Matthew Tkachuk did up in Calgary.
Right.
So why not get 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick right now for him?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the fact that he went to Florida. That's just crazy, but everybody wants to go to Florida now. Everyone wants to go to Florida or Vegas.
Right.
You know why?
No taxes.
There's no taxes.
Right.
You want to know what kind of a raise this guy just got from being up in Canada to now going to Florida? He probably, I think his contract's like $7.5 million. I think it's $8.5 million. He probably makes $500,000 more.
Maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could always ask Gemini.
Yeah. Well, but the reality is it's a great move for Florida. Florida's clearly back in the running for the cup with that move. I just wonder, and this is just me thinking out loud, if the way they play so physical and their body is getting older, that maybe they can't play that way anymore. Maybe they're getting all those injuries because of the way they play, that hard-nosed, grind them out, check them, steal the puck, and score that way. I don't know. It's just a thought that I've been having about Florida. Maybe it's just because I'm jealous of them. And the fact that they've got 3 really good lines. Brad Marchand. No, wait, I said that wrong.
Marchand?
Yeah, Brad Marchand is going to be their 3rd line winger.
Yeah.
I mean,
they say there's going to be, there could be a lot of trades this year. A lot of trades.
Well, there has to be because the free agent market is garbage. There's nobody on basically the best free agent out there defensively is Ryan Shea, which, by the way, the Penguins doesn't look like they're going to re-sign Ryan Shea.
Really?
My guess is he wants a 6-year contract. I really wanted them to go get him, but I wouldn't want to sign him for $6 or $7 million at 6 years.
Yeah,
it's too much. Too long.
I have some numbers here. I decided to ask Gemini this question because
Pat says no taxes.
It's an interesting and for some reason the frickin' I've been having trouble with Gemini. The answers are getting like erased right away on this one. But basically, on a $7 million annual contract, an NHL player playing for the Florida Florida Panthers versus the Toronto Maple Leafs will take home $700,000 to $900,000.
Pretty close with 500 on the 8.5.
And it could be as high as 1.4 million more.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah.
Yeah, of course they all want to go play there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it makes a lot of sense from a.
I mean, you're making a king's ransom
and
difference.
The weather's a little bit nicer in January.
Yeah.
So, what else is going on with the Pens?
Yeah, I think that's the big question is now that we're in the midst of the dead zone.
What are the Pens going to do, Steve?
That's right.
I mean, there's no doubt that Dubas wants to move up.
Mm-hmm.
The question is he moving up to go get somebody? That would be the only reason to move up.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If he's going to get okay talent with where they are. I think it's 16. And so I don't know. I think he's going to try and move up. But he tried to move up last year and he didn't. And they ended up getting Ben Kindle. Nobody knows first pick's going to be Gavin McKenna. Second pick is going to probably be this kid Stenberg.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a stud defenseman that's probably going to go 1, 2, 3. After that, nobody really knows. Let's face it.
Yep.
I mean, after that, you got some really good prospects. I love Wyatt Cullen, Matt Cullen's son.
Mm-hmm.
I think he plays a great game, but he's going to be a top 10 pick.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to get him. So we'll see. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of movement in the draft this year. I think you're going to see some trades. I think you're going to see people it's very possible they could trade Ricard Raquel to move up. It's possible.
I think you're going to see trades before the draft too.
I would not be surprised to see that happen. And also, I wouldn't be surprised after the draft is over. So after the draft is over, 2 things to look forward to next week. We'll talk a little bit about this next week on the porch on Monday. Penn's got development camp coming up next week, which basically means all the rookies and all the rookies who aren't expected to make the team, they get together and they play a little tournament at the end of the week. So that'll be fun to watch. Actually may go up they have the tournament on Friday. And since nobody's working Friday, because it'll be the 3rd of July, I may go up there and watch that tournament.
Where is it, at the Lemieux Center?
Yeah, it's up in Cranberry. Okay. So it's really easy to get to.
It's a good place to watch hockey.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Every seat's good.
So I'm thinking about going up there and watching that. And then, of course, on July 1st, the restricted free agents, you can start offering sheets to them. They're still restricted, but if I wanted to, let's say you owned Ron Francis and I wanted him, I could say, hey, Ronnie, you can come with us. You know,
right.
So,
what's
it should be fun.
What's the regular free agency date?
The regular free agency date has passed.
It has?
Goodbye.
Yeah.
For the NHL?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We haven't had a
free agents. Yeah.
Are you saying?
No,
are you asking
no.
When
saying,
does it start? Or
I'm saying,
when is it over?
When do the unrestricted free agents
get to sign?
Yeah, that was already passed.
Well, there was no frenzy this year.
No, there wasn't, because there's hardly anybody that's worth a damn.
Oh, okay.
That's
all right.
why.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Then I missed that.
I wonder if that's a rarity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Usually there is like a big frenzy.
Yeah, there's always a big frenzy in every sport. Every sport.
Yeah, I mean, even for
we're all
hockey.
we're all stuck on this. Like Schwaber can't believe it. He's looking it up. I can't believe it. I know somebody else is looking it up, and Steve is probably looking it up right now. I mean, I trust HJ. I mean, it's all things
actually. Well, it's everything starts July 1st.
July 1st. So that includes restricted.
So restricted and regular is July 1st.
Okay. So July 1st is the date we were looking for.
Thank you for that correction.
Pat off track. Got that one right. July 1st, Canada Day.
There you go. Canada Day.
Listen, I want to extend to Pat off track the ability to be on our show. I feel like he would add something, don't you?
He is adding something every week.
No, I don't think so.
Most of it.
No, I'm just kidding, Pat. But I wouldn't mind Pat to come on for like a guest appearance.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Guest appearance.
Yeah, like the counselor.
Like, yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I got a feeling that Pat's going to be like camera shy. He's
Pat.
Yeah,
he's with a face like that. Are you kidding me?
I call Pat. He's like an email balls. He, and he'll say anything.
He's got a great email.
Anything to you in an email, but he won't say it to your face.
Yeah, or he's like a keyboard warrior.
Right,
That's what you mean,
exactly. Keyboard warrior.
You know what, Pat? I'm going to defend you here. You are not a keyboard warrior because we have hung out with you. And you have had many cocktails.
He could go toe to toe.
And a guy who can wake up at like 7 a.m. after drinking until 3 o'clock in the morning and walk out and say good morning with a drink in his hand. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure he can do that anymore.
He can do it.
I don't think so.
He did it down in Key West.
That was years ago.
Yeah, well,
that was a few years ago.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out in Philly if they come down to the. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, because we can do a porch down there.
3 of us are already going.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we're going to stay in Philly.
And it's in Philly. We've all been there.
I'm going to beg the wife for the corporate card so we can get a nice hotel, not a banging hotel, just a nice hotel.
Corporate card.
Yeah, I'm going to beg her for it. So we can we'll put it on the, on the business.
Nice. Yeah, I love it.
Like the way
it's a business expense.
I mean, we should get something for the sponsorship.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Something. I'm not going to let her know you said that.
I won't.
All right, listen, guys. Anything more on hockey, HJ?
Ron Francis got signed.
That's true.
To the front office, so he's going to be doing some.
I like that news. I think that's good news.
Yeah, well, and new word on the street is once the new owners take over the Hoffman Group, they haven't quite taken over officially yet. They're bringing in Mario, so he's going to be more prominent in making decisions and being visible in the organization, which is just going to be good for the organization. And lastly, I will be going down to the arena on Thursday to talk about buying maybe a half season plan.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
why? What are they having? Like a
sale?
Like a presentation or something?
Yeah, they have like an open house where they're like, "Wouldn't you want to get into this suite? Look how nice it is." And then they take you down to I think it's Vegas or whatever that place is where you can like watch the players come out and they take you down there. It's basically a dog and pony show to try and get.
And they hype it.
Try and get you to spend like $75,000 with them when I'm like looking to spend like maybe $3,000 or something.
Let's get a GoFundMe for HJ to spend $75,000.
We'll put a GoFundMe together.
We're going to do a GoFundMe.
Let's say your house burnt down.
I mean, you can't.
You can say anything on GoFundMe.
Right. All right, HJ on hockey. In case you don't know this, HJ preaches on the podcast during the regular season after every single damn Penguins game. Every single game, guys. So you can listen to him, his breakdown of the game and the season as it goes on throughout the NHL playoffs, throughout the Stanley Cup, and even in the dead zone. The guy knows more about hockey than I know about the back of my own hand. How about that? How about that for a comparison?
That's true. It's damn
interesting.
And it is true.
And Pat says, I'm more of a 10-game package guy. I'm definitely getting a 12-game package, 100%. But I may upgrade to the 21-game package.
I'll tell you what, Pat, you come up and spend some time here with HJ, and he'll pay for that extra 10 games. You know what I'm saying?
Pat, you come up, I'll take you to a hockey game. That's a no-brainer.
There you go. All right, HJ on hockey. Thanks for being here, guys. We're going to move on. If you haven't already, man, click that subscribe button, click notifications. You'll know when we're live every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Sports Porch Black and Gold. Drop the show into a podcast. So if you miss it, you can always catch up in the car on the way to work tomorrow, on the way to your girlfriend's tonight. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just saying on your way to pick up a pizza. I don't know. Check your mom's house, take out the garbage. You can listen to us anytime.
On your way going down
a hooker.
Going down to Macy's.
Hookers, Macy's, all of that.
Early Christmas shopping.
We're there with you.
So follow us on the podcast. And of course, you can visit our website, porchlive.com, which I'm going to be overhauling as well. You guys, we got a lot of new shit coming on here. Steelers. This is to me, this is the toughest time of year. Steelers OTAs and preseason, the black and gold are back, breaking down early takeaways.
We were going to get away with no Steelers.
I got nothing for you on the Steelers.
I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. Here's the Steelers story. Training camp's coming soon. We'll be back. There you go. That was it. That's all we need.
Yeah. I mean,
come on. There's nothing new with the Steelers.
No, there really isn't.
I need to make things up.
Well, and everybody does make things up. I just want to let's make some predictions right now.
What'd you say? The too early prediction?
Let's do the too early. Well, it doesn't have to be too early. Let's make some predictions on who we think may or may not come out of training camp and actually don a Steelers uniform on the sidelines when the season begins. So who do you think is going to be cut?
Oh, who's going to be cut?
Yeah.
And Mike
and Mike Lawrence brings it right up.
Yep,
that's exactly where I was going, Mike. Exactly where I was going.
Okay.
I'll say Rudolph will be cut. I mean, but it's just a guess.
That was my guess. I think it could be Asante Samuel in the secondary.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that Will Howard is going to be cut.
There you go.
And I think it's because he's not McCarthy's guy. And I don't care what they're saying. I think what they're doing by showing all this video in the past, in the recent past of McCarthy working with them is there. And obviously
they're hyping him up. So
you got it. Obviously Aller and Howard are going to get a lot of. You all right? You all right there?
I'm not.
Is it something I said? I just want to know that. Is it something I said? Or
no, it was something I swallowed.
There you go. Oof. I don't like hearing that.
I don't like hearing that either. Actually, though, you know what?
I guess I can't swallow.
Actually, I do have something that we could talk about regarding the Steelers. Now, I'm going to tell you flat out, the Steelers are going to have no interest simply because, McCarthy's guy is probably Drew Aller, but the supplemental NFL draft has that quarterback, that Sorsby with the gambling issue.
Oh, right.
Who, the folks who actually, talk about the talent say he's a first round talent, and
I've heard this.
It's kind of rare that you've got an opportunity to, make a bid for a potential franchise quarterback. Now, I haven't heard one single report of anybody saying that the Steelers might be interested.
It's because they're not.
Probably because they're not, because they drafted Drew Aller. But that's an interesting thing that's out there. Would you have interest in this guy? Look, on one hand, you could say gambling problem. It's kind of a cardinal sin. You should never bet on your own football team. On the other hand, you could also say, I mean, for crying out loud, the guy's like 19 years old. How many stupid things did you do at 19 years old?
None.
Right.
You know what I mean? His college coach came out and said he's a great guy. He's got great character. I mean, who the hell knows really? But at least
all of these kids now gamble. All of these kids gamble on their phone. I mean, I get it.
Right.
He knew he wasn't supposed to, but they all do it now.
Right. And I mean, isn't it also kind of silly too that you put on Sports Center, ESPN, and all these guys are talking about it would be a hard no for me. That's the cardinal sin. Meanwhile, DraftKings promotes your sport.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
Meanwhile, when you look
it's going to be a problem
when you look at the scores, they have a whole thing now, a whole disclosure section on bet at your own risk. It's a bad idea on ESPN's website.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I sort of feel like if my team didn't have a definitive answer at starting quarterback, I would make a play for him. Now, listen, the way
you got to look at him.
Yeah,
I don't know if you make a play for him.
Well, here's the way it works. So it's in the order of the actual draft, and each team gets the chance to make a claim for him in a particular round. So, let's say that the Arizona Cardinals put a second round grade on him. Okay. So if anybody put a first round on him, that team would get him. But when it goes to the second round, then it would only be maybe the two teams in front of the Cardinals would have a chance. And if not, then the Cardinals get him. So, like, for example, you could take a flyer. You could say, like, hey, we'll put up a 5th for him.
Mhm.
You know, and hey, you just, if everybody just stayed away from him, let's bring the guy into camp.
But I don't think anybody's going to stay away from him. I think somebody's going to grab him.
You think
Well, and on
somebody's going
top
to grab
of
him?
that,
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with you, but they already have too many quarterbacks. Like, you're going to bring another quarterback in?
Yeah.
Well, but my thought
that's the problem.
my thought is, do you
Why
have,
not? Your thought is why not?
I would say if they didn't go and get
Yeah.
Aller this year, yes.
I mean, my thought is basically this, and I kind of understand that you gotta take the stance of you have conviction in what you're doing, but
None
at
of
the same
Steelers
time,
been that
but at the same time, I sort of look at it as right now. Granted, you've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster right now, but to me, do you even have one? You know, who's the future of your franchise?
Yeah, that's the
No.
big question.
So you have
Yeah.
you have 2 question marks and a backup
Right.
and an old man.
Right.
That's what you
so
have
so
there.
if that's the case, why not add a 5th? You know, look, if he comes in and lights up preseason, or it's so obvious in practice that he's so much more talented than these other guys, then you cut those guys.
Or think about this. You know, you mentioned his age, 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little young to be starting in
Right.
the NFL. Pick him up, see what you got,
Mm-hmm.
stash him on the practice squad, whatever
Right.
technicalities you have.
Or, you know,
and then
injury.
if something happens,
Mhm.
you've got him. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I don't know how realistic it is. And I certainly don't think that's something the Steelers, I can't imagine that somewhere in that boardroom when Omar Khan is talking and McCarthy and everybody else, and they obviously talk about supplemental draft and who's out
Mhm.
there and possible needs. There's no way that idea is not being floated. But it could be an idea where it's like somebody, okay, let's open the floor.
Right.
Hey, what about this guy? Not something we're willing to consider right now. That's as far as it would probably go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's a bad idea. And I think you're absolutely right. The future of this franchise's quarterback position is in complete disarray. And we've already had thousands of discussions why over the last 10 years, 8 years on this podcast. So yeah, why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
I've actually even heard some reports that the Eagles might put in a claim.
See, and that's what a good organization does.
Well, I mean,
mean-
if you have the luxury of, having a 3rd quarterback
Yeah.
position open,
Right.
that's
Well, that
where I
too.
see it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
The
yeah, you're
problem
right.
I have with what Mark's saying is they already have 2 question marks. 3 question marks is worse than 2 question marks, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. I see.
Because you have to develop somebody down the line.
Yeah.
If you have another person to develop, it just takes your resources away.
Mike Lawrence. I know he's really young, but I feel like he has too much baggage. Listen, Mike,
I don't care about the
baggage
baggage.
is like standard
I mean,
in
come
life,
on.
Mhm.
right?
The Steelers' baggage, their bag's
I mean,
pretty large.
Every team has baggage.
I know.
You know,
Mhm.
even,
But I mean-
even the really good ones.
Yeah, you can go back.
Now, Chris Chod, I'm gonna give you a warning here. All right, we love you. All right, we love that you're here every week, but I do not want to hear Kenny Pickett's name on this podcast
But since he's brought it up,
ever again. You're right. That was a miss.
It was actually
Wait,
Colbert.
yeah.
It was Colbert that
Chris
defended
Schott
it.
Yeah, it was
has said
Colbert.
that,
Yeah, it
you
was
heard
Colbert.
that Khan defended
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett's the pick for Kenny Pickett. It was Colbert.
Kevin Colbert. Of
And-
course
and,
he would
and
do
what
that.
Colbert said, did you hear what he said?
Mhm.
He compared him to Sam Darnold.
Right.
What?
He did. He compared him to Sam. Like
Right.
Kenny, clearly Kenny has talent, and he just needs to find the right team. And sometimes it takes quarterbacks longer. Maybe I hope that someday he'll end up on a team where he'll be like Sam Darnold. I'm
Well,
like,
Kenny Pickett won a Super Bowl before Sam Darnold, so he's kind of right.
yeah,
Well, his whole
that's true.
his whole thing was we felt that Kenny Pickett was a ready now win quarterback, and he did that for us. He went 14-10. But
Well, I mean, how's that
but-
different than 10-7?
right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 7-5. 2
Right.
years. you know.
And he didn't set the world on fire doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
One last thing on the Steelers before we move to what we're watching. Where would you rank Omar Khan in the GM ranking? Says OC.
So what? 1 or 32,
Mhm.
somewhere in between there. He's probably a solid 26.
I mean, I'd say it's probably still too early at this point, really, to give him a ranking. But
Mm.
I mean,
That's true. He's
I
only
wouldn't-
been a GM for what, 6 years now?
No,
I think like
less
3 or
than
4.
that. Less than that, like 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean-
going to find out right now.
Well, Colbert, that pick was in 2022. So yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
This was his fourth
Right.
year. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd say he's probably somewhere between like 15 and 20. I don't know.
So I feel a little bit worse than you do, but
Yeah.
yeah.
2022,
Yeah.
May of 2022.
Yeah. 2022. After
I would actually say, okay, so let's do it this way. This is how I'm going to do it. I think it is really, like Gran Schwabini said, it's too early to really give him like a grade because he inherited Mike Tomlin and he inherited that staff
Mhm.
and he inherited Kevin Colbert's drafts, the results of that. So right now, I would put him in the middle of the pack. I'd put him maybe on the lower half of the league, maybe 17, 18. I wouldn't go as far as the 20s.
Mhm.
And that's because he has been a part of this quarterback shuffle they've been doing has just been mind-blowing. But that was also with a very strong-handed head coach who was basically in charge of the whole thing. Hiring McCarthy gave him the ability to kind of insert himself a little bit more into the process
Mhm.
because that was probably, McCarthy wanted the job. He's not going to walk in there and be like, I make all the decisions, so
Well,
we'll see where he ends up.
Con has now drafted 2 quarterbacks who have yet to play a snap in the NFL.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Well, they're lower round quarterbacks.
Yeah, they are lower round. And
That's
also
when he chose to take them.
And also the owner and the previous coach and the current coach had a fascination and have a fascination with Aaron Rodgers wearing a Steelers uniform. And I would wager to say that unless Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl this year, this is the year that fascination wears off.
Well, we said that last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
And he's back.
I think there was always some question last year.
Well, we always said that if he wins a playoff game, he's back. And he didn't win a playoff game. I believe we all said, no, he won't be back if he loses a playoff game. Well, he's back.
We did say that. I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
nobody knows what the frig's going on with the quarterback position.
All right. If you caught us on YouTube or if you caught us on the podcast, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is the Sports Porch Black and Gold coming to you live every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time from the Porch here in Monroeville. For those of you outside the area, it is a little suburb about 9 miles east of the city of Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
I have the Gran Schwabini with me and HJ. We just finished up our Steelers talk for the week, but drop your comments, email us, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. Reach out to us anytime. Subscribe on YouTube. Like I said, we want to hear from you. Leave a review on the podcasts. Now, let's move on to something very near and dear to Mark Schwab's heart. It's called What We're Watching.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Well, this is the part of the show that means the most to us. And I believe means the most to you because you are our loyal fans, our listeners, our family, our community. I call you our fam. And what we do for you is we help you out. It stinks trying to figure out what shows to watch. Too many choices. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, AMC, Peacock, Paramount,
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. My God, it goes on and
So
on.
many.
Oh my God. Well, no more trailers for you. You just listen to the guys on the Sports Porch and we'll give you the 2 thumbs up if it's worth a watch. We'll give you the 2 thumbs down if it is not to watch. If you watch that show, it's your fault. We might give you a thumb up, a thumb down.
It happens.
And then you have to make a choice. Who are you? But we guarantee you that we will do our review with the deepest sincerity that we have. I now bring you to Stephen Hockey Jesus DeFlitch.
Well, since we were talking about the quarterback position, I thought it would be fun to go back and watch a 30 for 30 that ESPN put out on the tuck rule. Have you seen this one?
I have not. Can I ask a question
Yes.
before you get into it? My question is, and I'm not going to ridicule you because you're not Chris Klein.
Funny.
But what I actually want to know is, Was the right call made, or was this total bullshit and it should have been a fumble recovered by Woodson?
Well, this doesn't really help. But what was really cool was Charles Woodson and Tom Brady got together and they watched it together, which was a lot of fun. I forgot these guys were teammates.
Yeah.
In Michigan,
right?
And Charles Woodson was the shit. He won the Heisman.
Yeah.
And Brady was just a friggin' nobody. Right. And he was talking shit on him. And they showed the play so many times from so many different angles. Like, for example, Woodson actually hit him in the head before he hit the ball, and
should have been a penalty.
And that should have been a penalty. It should have. But what happened was when he was coming down, Woodson's hand propelled the ball forward, which made it worse. It made it look like he was actually trying to throw the ball when it looked like it was Woodson's hand that hit the ball that made it look like it was going forward. The referee who made the call, I forget his name now. He's adamant that it was 100%. It was 100%. He was tucking the ball. He wasn't throwing it. He was trying to bring it down, but his arm was going forward, and because his arm was going forward, it was a forward pass, which Brady even said he wasn't trying to throw the ball, but there's nothing in the rule that says what it was the intent of the quarterback. It's just the motion of his arm, and because it was going forward, and then Woodson hit it, and it made it look like it went forward when it really didn't even really go forward. It kind of went to the side. It was to me, they're never going to change it.
Right.
But to me, Brady admitted that he wasn't trying to throw the ball. And actually, before that play was run, Eric Allen was on the other side of the play. He was listening to the coach tell the play. He was listening to Belichick tell Brady to play. So he knew what the play was going to be. So he jumped the cut, and that's why Brady hesitated, because Eric Allen was like, I'm going to intercept this ball because I know exactly where it's going to go. Because he said it was like trips to one side, and he said, throw it to the backside. And that was the side Allen was on. So he was like, I got this. All I got to do is lay off and at the right moment, take off. And when he did, that's what caused Brady to hesitate. And that's why he got sacked, because Woodson came in plain as day. Nobody even blocked him. So after the fumble, which was wild, Brady actually tried to kick the guy. He tried to kick him from getting the fumble. And Woodson was like, look, you kicked him. He's like, yeah, I tried to kick him. I didn't want him to get to the ball, And then he jumped on the ball. It was such a wild play. There was
I remember.
There were so many things like that could have happened even
and it was
after that.
Snowing on top of that.
I mean,
it
the
was
whole
snowing.
game it was snowing.
Yeah.
Like you have to watch this, because this is basically the play that basically propelled Tom Brady to his first Super Bowl.
I agree. If that's a fumble and the Raiders recover, Tom Brady might not even be the starting quarterback the next year.
That's exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And Woodson was like, our team was so good. He was like, they were all, because they played the next week in Pittsburgh. And that was the Cordell Stewart game that supposedly he blew. I was at that game, actually. And Brady got hurt in that game against the Steelers. So just wild. You have to watch this. Like if you care about any like major moments in sports history, it was fun to watch these guys go back and forth because they're ultra competitors, right? And Brady was pretty real about it by saying, he knew he wasn't trying to throw the ball, but the referee was also adamant about it, that his arm was going forward and there was no way that he was going to call that a fumble no matter what. And you know what? I think his name was Walt Harris that made that call. He never reffed against the Raiders ever again in his career.
Well, I mean, that would be somewhat dangerous.
So what is the rule? So it was called a pass.
It was called an incomplete pass.
Okay. Now, what does it mean if he were to decide to tuck it?
Could
it then have been a fumble?
Yes. If he said that he was tucking it, then the ball came loose. That means it's a fumble.
Right.
Yeah.
And so basically Brady admitted that he wasn't trying to throw it. So it really was a fumble by in his in his mind.
In Brady's mind,
Yeah.
he fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
And he thought the game was over.
Right.
And that was that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then after that, they got, they kicked a field goal to tie the game.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it.
So
And there
wild.
you have it. HJ, the Tuck Rule, a 30 for 30 production. He's calling it a must watch with 2 thumbs up.
Must watch.
All right. The Grand Schwabini is rebooting something.
Berlin. Money Heist. The Money Heist universe has done it again. This is I believe there's 3 Money Heists, and this is the second Berlin. And I'll tell you what, they're all good. They're all good. I mean, I have to imagine, thinking back on it so long ago since I watched the first one, probably the first one has to be the best, I'm guessing. But I'll tell you what, this one I think was the next best of the other 4. And so it was called the what's it called? The lady. Oh, I can't see it with that thing there.
Hermini.
Yeah. So what that is, that's a Leonardo da Vinci painting.
Oh, okay.
And so basically in this latest heist, he gets contacted by a guy who is actually an art thief, and he's looking for the best out there to steal the lady of her mind. And lots of twists and turns. I mean, I won't give it away. But look, if
It's dubbed, right? It's in German.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I was watching it. Everybody seems like their lips match. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But and here's the other thing too. You can actually watch them out of order. You don't actually have
yeah.
you don't actually
One
have
doesn't
to
build on the other.
Yeah, I mean they kind of do, they kind of don't. I mean, like for example, in this one, the main guy who was in the first 3, and then Berlin was kind of like the second in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 2 Berlin's in charge. So like, at the end of this series, the main guy comes back for 1 episode. But like say if you didn't know who he was, but you can watch them separately. It's
Great
just,
action.
Yeah, it's just great action. You're guessing throughout. You're wondering how in the world they're going to do it.
Good banter.
Yeah, and good banter. There's always love story kind of involved in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always just like the most impossible thing that you could ever do for a heist. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what makes
You know what I mean?
That's what makes
Right.
it great, though.
Right, exactly. So yeah, they did it again. Berlin season 2,
Money
amazing.
Heist.
Money
Money
Heist.
Heist.
Yep.
Berlin.
Mhm.
All right. 2 thumbs up. Grant Schwabini. I had forgotten. I had never watched this movie before. And last week sometime, I did have like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And I decided it popped up on my, available list.
Right.
And
Hey,
I thought,
you should watch it.
I have to watch this. Concussion.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually never watched Concussion
I never watched it either.
I think I did.
with Will Smith.
I think I did.
Yeah, basically Concussion, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, watching, listening, remember this movie. I think it was 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a doctor, but a forensic pathologist who worked in the Allegheny County Coroner's Office with Cyril Wecht,
Right.
who was the Mike Webster, ended up tragically taking his own life. And this doctor, played by Will Smith, I can't remember his name, shame on me. He noticed some abnormalities in the brain. He did a full autopsy, and that led him down the road, because then there was Justin Strelzik, who also took his own life in a car crash.
Yep.
And it led him down the road of investigating a lot of these. And the pushback from the NFL was insane.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe.
And then finally, after I can't remember his name. God rest his soul. The guy that was running the NFL Players Association, who actually was against this guy. He ended up
Gene Upshaw.
no. Oh God, it's a player that played when we were young. We knew, and not Drew Pearson.
Preston Pearson.
No. Anyway, what I'm saying is, eventually it caught up with him, and he took his own life. And when that happened, it kind of started this cascade, and then you had the Junior Seau, and then literally countless others before and after.
Of course.
And it really brought it to the forefront. Cyril Wecht was involved in this. He really struggled, and there were times where he was actually not overtly, but very, I want to say softly threatened with violence. And, I got to say, like, for all of those people who say, Pat Off Track says Troy Vincent. No, it wasn't Troy Vincent. For all of those people who think that the NFL is doing anything about concussions now, I think they're doing more. But in all honesty, I think they could do a hell of a lot more. And we do get on these players, and I'm going to take this graphic down so we don't get in trouble here, but we do get on these players when they talk about this stuff. You'll hear people say, well, I mean, you got a $100 million guaranteed contract. You got this, you got that. What are you bitching about? You shouldn't spend all your money. You shouldn't, all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is they're human. I mean, they're highly trained athletes, but they're human. And these concussions and the statistics around them, it was something like when he went back and watched film of like Mike Webster. And he said the average, it was something like, and I'm going to get this wrong, guys. So, but you'll understand. I can't remember it exactly. It was something like the average, I don't know, wide receiver has a helmet to helmet or head contact like once a game. Right. Most of the time they're tackled. But the average lineman like Mike Webster would have a concussion style head contact, something like 19 times a game. So it's conceivable that especially the linemen, defense and offense, they could get 10 concussions in a game, and they're just not severe enough to show any symptoms. Right. And yeah, we bang on these guys for having all this money and wasting their lives and all that kind of shit. But at the same time, man, they're flying around out there. They're literally taking their lives into their own hands. And I'm not necessarily saying their actual life, because we have yet to, it's been close, but we have yet to see, God forbid, an actual death on the football field that lasts. I mean, DeMar Hamlin magically came back to life. Good for him. Right. But they're taking their quality of life into their own hands. I mean, what good's $100 million contract if you're a vegetable, or if you can't figure out why the cops are chasing you and they're not chasing you? You know what I mean? Like what a terrible, terrible story. And I do believe Will Smith won the Oscar for this performance. And as bad as the press has been for him, although he's disappeared now for a few years, what a great performance. What a great, if you haven't watched Concussion and you're an NFL fan, you must watch this movie. Must watch. And it's over 10 years old, and it still sticks.
2015.
It still sticks.
I mean, for me, they are doing some things, but just the fact that you would have somebody play on a Sunday and then play on a Thursday, you know what I mean? That's just like ridiculous. And the fact that you would say, like, all right, let's go to 18 games. You know what I mean? Right. Like all those kinds of things.
Makes you wonder if player safety is a thing.
It really makes you wonder.
Well, I mean, it's funny. It's a very fine line, because obviously player safety is a thing.
It's a violent sport.
Or they wouldn't have all the pads and the technical.
They got the crazy helmets now.
Yeah, they've made a lot of
the shorter kickoff running area.
And the equipment, just through innovation, has gotten better. Obviously, you can see that from the leather helmets all the way up to what we have now. Right. But I think the point that's kind of lost on us is that there's probably a very, very small chance that they're ever going to be able to minimize concussion situations without.
Oh, they can fix it.
How do you think they can? Because I
one word.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cue the music. Robot.
There you go. All right. You think we're going to robots?
Damn.
You want to see violence? Put robots out there.
Listen, you made my point with one word. That's exactly right. There it is.
There it is.
You know who's going to run the robot league?
Me.
Aliens.
There it is.
They already do.
That's how we go out. We go out on aliens. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. The Sports Porch Black and Gold edition every Monday night live, 7 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and X. If you haven't already, click that follow button, hit subscription, hit subscribe, click notifications. You'll know when we're live. I'm dropping this into a podcast right after this show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. For the Grand Schwab Beanie, for HJ, I'm your TD. That's the show. We'll see you next week. I am out. Jablons.